What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and today I'm making an anniversary box card tier list. You guys voted for this, so here we go. But first, hit that like and subscribe button. We are on our way to 1,500 subs. We're trying to get there by the 26th of November, by European Finals. So guys, like this video, share this video, subscribe, show it to your friends, your mom, your dog, like whatever. Let's just go. Oh god, what have I gotten myself into? Okay, so you guys voted for a tier list and I'm going to deliver. One of our fans, Nino, pointed out in the community tab that like maybe tier list isn't the best approach for this. I agree, but we need like a set of criteria to make this work. So, two criteria. How are we gonna judge these cards? We are looking at the cards themselves in the deck, in the archetype they are supposed to empower, and then we are also taking into consideration the state of the archetype with those cards. There are some cards which are generic, so we're just looking at them, as generic cards. But basically, I'm adding these two together to come up with a final score to say like, okay, how good of an improvement is this card when you take into consideration the archetype and everything, and where does it lie on the tier list? Now, let's go. Some cards I have more to say about, some cards I have much less to say about, so we'll go over this hopefully in like 15 minutes, super brief. And then next week we can do like top 5, top 10 best worst cards, should you buy anniversary box and everything else. So, starting off, Baby, it's not a bad card, it's a pretty decent card. I'm not playing it. I don't think that the Baby that one this cheats in is super good, because I want to go with like the evolving to Monkey Chain. But it's a decent card, it's a Z card, and it's a decent upgrade for the deck, so I think it's a solid B tier. Android 18, this card was not necessary, so that's one of the criterias, it has to be a necessary upgrade. This card wasn't necessary, it's not going to change the deck a lot, so I think that the deck really didn't need this, and that some versions of the deck won't even include this. So I'm going to put it in C tier, bad, because it's like really weird inclusion, like why? Dispo makes Topo Prison a lot better. You can play him for 2 energy, it protects your unison, it draws a card, it can KO, rest and KO something, it's 20k. It's a very good, very good support to a very strong deck, like Topo is like decent at best. This card makes it a lot better. And for that alone, I'm putting it into the A tier. So A tier is the support that's making an already decent deck better. That's like much welcomed. Then we have our first S tier card, the SS3 Broly. SS3 Broly is everything that a support from anniversary box, a deck/leader support should be. It's an amazing support for an obscure leader that no one was using. A lot of people forgot that it even existed until it was reprinted in Mythic Booster. And this guy takes it and makes the deck completely viable again. And it's like black Broly green engine deck with also like green the Berserker Broly, who a lot of people also forgot exist. So this card alone is bringing a completely new deck into the game, and for that reason alone it is S tier. Pilaf deck is trash, it's not good, but like this card alone is making it slightly better because it cheats out your boss monster for like 2 energy, which is pretty crazy. So with this card I would say like, okay, this is like, is it bad? It's much better than it used to be. So if we say that, like, if we take like some minimum level of respect for Pilaf and say that like, okay, it's a bad deck, then like it's at least like decent. The support is very good. That's why it is B tier. Gohan, I don't have much to say about this one because I haven't played deck. Go watch Eggman's video on it. He explained this perfectly. He said that like, hey, this deck used to struggle with his alternative awakening, and this card makes it work finally. And because it is a Zenkai card, it's basically in your hand, so now it adds much needed consistency to the deck, which was like bad deck, but like this is very, very good support for it, which is why I'm putting it into A tier. Okay, then this Goku. This Goku is bad. Like, this Goku is legitimately very, very bad, and I honestly don't know like where to put it really, because I'm thinking of it and I'm like, okay, so Son Goku Xeno, not the best deck. Not the best deck. Is this the support that the deck needed? I am honestly not sure, so I think I would just... It's not a good... It's a solid card for a deck that's not very good. So I'm just going to put it in bad. Like, that's it. It's a support that's not gonna do anything. Son Goku Xeno is still not gonna see play, regardless of the card being like relatively good. This card, best card in the anniversary box. Absolutely best card in the anniversary box. The reason alone is that this card goes into any blue deck, and it is insane. It is 1 energy, activate battle, play it, double strike, 20k, on play, draw a card, and then like bottom deck something. He bottom decks, right? Yeah, bottom deck something. Crazy. And all you need to do is have any mono blue leader and 3 or more Zenkai energy. So this card is going to be a blue staple from now until the end of time. Sorry for the interruption, my cat was doing things. Anyway, SS Broly, the Demon Revive. This is a boost for the Broly Surge deck. I have not played the deck, but the card is decent. My logic is every Z card is always a step above what like it would probably be judging in the isolation, because this card, Zenkai cards are basically an extension of your hand, and this is a decent card which supports a decent deck. If we're being very gracious, we support a bad/decent deck. For that reason alone, I would just put it into B tier. It's decent. These aren't going, left to right, like best to worst. No. Then we have Blue Boo. Blue Boo is it's cute deck. It's a very cute deck. It plays stuff from the energy, and this guy, it's a search. It's a search piece. It's not a Zenkai card, unfortunately, but still, it's a search piece. You can cheat him out. You can bring him back when he is KO'd. It's not something that's going to make Boo suddenly super insane. It's once again just a decent piece, and that's it. Putin supports the Towa deck. It gives Towa deck the much needed search for the unison, because Towa requires a free cost unison to be good, and Putin you can just pitch to look for it. The issue with Putin is that Towa deck is garbage, so I'm just gonna put it like in bad. I would honestly want to put it in trash, because Towa deck is complete awful garbage, which caused Secret AD to get banned, because Bandai wanted people to play that shitty Towa deck. So I'm just gonna put it in bed. Hit, I really don't know what to say about this one. I've talked around, I've asked around, I've never played Hit in my life. I have some little idea of what the deck actually does. I'm turning on the light. Okay. So I would just take Hit and I would put it into decent from what I've been told. Shield is a good support for the cooler meal deck. It's not one of those cards that you're like, okay, I need this. I absolutely need this to play. It's probably not going to be something that you are running like 4 pieces of, because yeah, it has a bit of an expensive arrival. It's still 2 energy. But then again, it's not a bad card. It's a once again, it's a consistency piece, because it looks top 5 for a Frieza clan with an energy cost of 5 or less, and then it also necks something ignoring barrier, and it's a dual attack blocker 20k. It's definitely a decent card. It's decent. The deck will be slightly better with this, but it's not like A tier better. The Boo leader, A tier. The Boo deck came out in set 14, Green Boo. It was never super competitive, but it did top some events, mostly like Green Blue version. And this is a perfect example of how you do Z leaders, because Boo is great. Boo took everything that the previous Awakened side had, and then it just made it better. It's bigger, it draws cards, it plays stuff for free, it gains skills. It does everything you want it to do, everything that you wanted the old one to do, but better. So, Boo, definitely A tier. Next up, Life Flip Frieza. Well, okay, Life Flip Frieza is one of the least popular, worst decks on Deck Planet, and one of the least popular decks in front of the UV block in general. It's not a very good deck, but this is a Zenkai card and it's pretty strong, and it allows the deck to run more smoothly. And once again, because it is a Zenkai card, I'm just putting it a tier above what it would have, about a tier above what the deck actually is, because like the deck is like bad or trash, but this is definitely, once again, decent support. It's going to make the deck better. That's what's important. Kale, Caulifla. Okay, Caulifla is support for set 15 Blue Kale, which was a weird leader because it required you to put a card beneath the leader and then to put that card into your energy. Like, that was its main thing. It was ramp, but we never got more than one card which actually put cards beneath your leader, so your deck just kind of sucks. Kale is once again, it's a Z card, so that's insane, and it makes your deck work. It has deflect, and it immediately on auto, when it's played, puts something beneath your leader. So it alone makes the leader lot better, and for that reason, like, Kale's a bad deck, but Caulifla makes it slightly better. So I'm still, for that reason, I think I'm going to put it into A tier. Because if Gohan is A tier for what it does, then Caulifla is also A tier according to that logic. Majin Vegeta was a big deck during the no pre-side best of one card market online tournament era. It was like just super hyper aggro. I'm not certain that this is a card that the deck needs to run. I don't think that this card is going to make any difference at all in the deck, so I'm just gonna put it in bad. I don't think that it's a bad card, but I think that, like Android 18, it's unnecessary and it's not gonna cause, much of a difference. So for Frieza, I made an entire video how to build starter Frieza. Go and check that one out if you want my in-depth thoughts. But once again, it's a card that makes the deck slightly better, but it's not something that you really needed, but it works. So for that reason alone, like, I'm putting it into decent, because starter Frieza is like bad to decent level, and this just makes it run a bit smoother. Like, all of these in C tier, they're bad, and they're not needed in the deck. Frieza arguably isn't needed, but it makes the deck run much better than like some of these others do. So for that reason, going up. Vegito, I'm going to leave Vegito for later. These are like leftovers. The Drachku support, I'm putting this one into A tier, I think. The thing is, Drachku crits 2 lives and they wipes everything. Ignoring barrier, this one heals you for 2, because once you do this, you put the top 2 from your deck into your life. So basically, you just wipe the board for free, which is great. It's a Zenkai card. For that reason, it's taking a deck that's like pretty bad in the current Dragon Ball era, and it's making it good. So I'm going to put this into B tier. I would put it into A. I think that previously I put it into A, but I need to consider how Drachku is actually not good in the current era. So bad Now it's a bit better, but then again, I'm still gonna put it into A tier, fine. Whis is S tier. Whis is taking a deck which is Blue Beerus, which is already good, already very, very good, and now it's making it a lot better. So this is going to Beerus, because of which is going to be a meta staple. It's going to be probably the best blue ramp deck. I believe that it's the best blue ramp deck, and now it's even more consistent, so definitely S tier. Zamasu is decent. Zamasu is just C tier. What it does, it takes a bad to decent casual okay-ish leader, and it makes it so that once you use your ultimate ability with the leader, once you remove your Dragon Balls and you do something, then instead of your leader, just being stuck, you can actually Z-awaken into Zamasu and keep on doing things. And it's pretty strong leader, but I think that it's B tier. It's not like Boo. But like, is it like Boo? Because it's, like, for the Boo logic, I'm going to put it here. Might change it later. Ginyu taking a bad deck, just making it slightly better, so I think it's decent at best. The problem is that like Ginyu Force is trash, but the support is very good. So if we are going by that logic, it's good. It's needed. It's definitely needed, which is why it's above bad. Hit, I don't have anything to say. I have no idea what to do with this deck. I think that Kefla is bad. I think that Hit is decent. It's making Multicolor Universe 6 better. So I'm just going to put it into B tier. I'm sorry, I really don't know. As I said, I really don't know what to say about some of these. Gotenks hurts me a lot because the boss monster is amazing. Like, if Gotenks were a better deck, this card would have been here. Or it would have been like, not here, but definitely in the A tier. However, despite everything that Gotenks does, Gotenks Adolescence Yellow deck isn't good. That's the issue. It doesn't fix any of the deck's problems. The fusion is awful. If you're going for like Union Fusion with the deck, it's not good. It really isn't. It's more of a like control-ish, and you're like, well, you can go control. You still struggle with drawing, but like fine, and now you have like this big boss monster to finish something, but the rest of the engine is still bad. So for that reason, I'm sorry, it's going into B tier. Goku is taking the Gohan U7 deck, and it is making it better. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep Zamasu here. But like, yeah, Goku is making that deck a lot better, and yeah, it's still free energy, but it's pretty strong. It gets to neg things. Once again, it's a Z card, and I know some people really love this deck, and I'm seeing, this card being good, despite it costing free energy. So for that reason, it's going into A tier. Like 5 minutes, we're making good time. Then we have Gohan. Gohan is support for the Whis deck. It's support for the Whis deck. Whis is awful. Whis is trash. Whis is garbage. However, Gohan has a permanent that gives all skillless cards a barrier for the turn, which is a lot better. So it's one, you see, unlike this other support from the C tier, Gohan is actually going to be played as a playset, and it's going to make a shitty deck a lot better. It's not going to be like A tier a lot better, but it's going to be definitely decent, because the rest of the deck is still bad. So Gohan B tier, definitely. I'm going to leave Gogeta for a bit less. I want to talk about it more. Okay, Bulma. Bulma is support for SS4 Ramp Vegeta. SS4 Ramp Vegeta is a great deck. It's arguably, you have like, what's the best ramp deck? Is it like Beerus or is it SS4 Vegeta? Like, that's the level of how good deck is. Is Bulma a good card? Yeah, Bulma is. It's not a bad card. It's good. It's decent. Is it necessary? Is it what the deck needed? Is it going to make the deck better? No, I don't think so. I think that it goes into the B tier. because it's not doing really much. I believe it's not doing much. You are going to play like maybe 2 copies of it. You already have a whole bunch of cards in the deck. So will Bulma actually see play? I don't believe so. I honestly don't believe so. I might even consider putting it into bed, but I'm just gonna put it into B tier because Vegeta by itself is good. Actually, no, going by Android 18 logic, I think I'm gonna put Bulma into bed this time. Cell, trash. Cell is complete garbage. Cell is awful. There is nothing relevant or strong about this card. You can cheat him out in the ultimate deck with the 4-drop. Then it literally does nothing except it gets you the Dragon Ball. It making your leader yellow does nothing because it doesn't count as a multicolored leader. So like it's just bad. Like it doesn't fit anyway. It's going into D tier. Masked Saiyan is S tier in my opinion. This is because like Black really needs help. It's a generic card. When you remove something from the drop to the warp, it costs 1, it enters, it's 20k. 20k deflect, critical. Well, what else? It removes 2 things from your opponent that brings it back at the end of their next turn with their skills negated. So this is a good step forward for Black. Piccolo decent. It's one of those like, it's a generic card which doesn't, it's like Masked Saiyan. It doesn't do anything. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it into bed. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't go into any specific deck. And like, if you're looking at green-blue cards, there are a lot better cards than Piccolo. So I'm confused as to why this card even exists. Janemba. Janemba is also going, I believe, it's also going into bed. It's a step up for the least popular leader in the game, at least from the Unison Warrior block, the least popular one, but the deck is still bad. Even with that, like, let's put it like this, the deck is trash by itself, but with this card, like, it's bad. It's like super low casual. So I'm putting Janemba there. Hedgehog is garbage. Hedgehog suffers from the same problem that Gotenks suffers. It's a good card by itself, but you need to run like the Dark Planet, I think it's called. Well, for Gotenks, you need to run the Gotenks Leader and the Gotenks Engine. For Hedgehog, you need to run the Dark Planet. Both of these cards, if they didn't have this one requirement, would have been infinitely better. Tova is trash. Tova is trash is deck. It's supporting the Bora deck. The Bora Xeno weird swap, actually lose cards from hand, don't do anything, lol. So, it's a trash card that supports a trash deck. So it's going into D tier. Now we have reached the big guys. So Gogeta, bad. Controversially, I'm putting Gogeta bad. I was super hyped for this one. The issue is, first, the issue for me is that it's leader locked, but fine. Objectively, let's look at it like that. It cheats out an 8-drop, which is the triple strike dual attacker 35k guy, promo Gogeta, which doesn't have any protection at all, like no barrier, nothing. It cheats him out for 1 energy. It's not a union fusion, so it doesn't count for your leader. It's just weird, whatever. You cannot play the actually good 8-drop, so it can't be KO'd, but it's just like 15k, so okay, fine, who cares? I mean, it gets you the 5 or 6 drop, but like you cannot evolve them over this guy, so it's just like a consistency piece. I think it's bad. I honestly think that it's bad. This card goes here. The Vegito Battle card goes into S tier. It's a consistency piece, basically. It's a 1-cost consistency piece. But so I'm putting it here because Vegito needs some consistency, and it's a Zenkai card that works with another Zenkai card. That's why it's actually in the S tier, because the single best card in the entire anniversary box, according to my criteria, is SSB Vegito Leader. This is like the Broly. This is a strict upgrade over an unplayable leader, but this one doesn't have a life requirement. You just need to awaken. And the other Vegito helps you do that. So the moment you awaken, 1 energy, bam, for the rest of the game you have a strictly better leader. This card does everything. It incorporates everything that Anniversary Box should do. It incorporates everything how Z leaders for older leaders should look like. So S tier. And Bulma, I'm still thinking of like moving Bulma like here, but I really don't think that it's like super necessary, so I'm just going to leave it in bed. Well, that's the tier list. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this tier list? So I've tried to make it super fast because every other recording was like an hour long and I'm dead tired by now, so yeah, I'm just like filming them like crazy. So if you want to show us some support, hit that like and subscribe button, share this video with other people, and let me know in the comments, would you like to see a, top cards video, like top 5, top 10 best worst cards? Maybe that would also be a good way to digest this information, because tier list was super fast. Leave your comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And hit that subscribe button to help us reach our goal. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.